The problem that I have decided to focus on is the negative impacts of teaching the sexual double standard to children. My main sub-arguments are how movies, teachers, and parents teach their students about sex. Sexual double standard is the idea that men and women are opposites. The idea that women are supposed to want relationships and men are not. There's also an idea that men are supposed to want sex and women are not. These ideas can be problematic and lead to women getting hurt. The first argument I am going to focus on is how movies teach children about the sexual double standard. In G-rated movies, specifically Disney movies, women are often shown as helpless and looking for a man to fix everything. The love between them is expected to be instant and magical. For example, there's the true love's kiss. Specifically, the true love's kiss in The Princess and the Frog, when Tiana and Naveen kiss as frogs, they magically turn back into humans. This shows young girls that they need to marry a man to solve all of their problems. Men in these movies are also often shown trying to pursue the woman even after she says no. This leads to a popularization of rape culture. In movies such as Beauty and the Beast, Belle does not want to be with the Beast. She wants to leave and go home to live with her father. The Beast is persistent, and in the movie it is seen as romantic. The story ends with Belle and the Beast in love and they get married. This is a direct correlation to the sexual double standard because the Beast is chasing a kiss with Belle because he believes that women are not meant to be sexual. These movies set an example for young kids who watch them. I think this problem could be solved by changing the depiction of relationships in Disney movies. They have already started this process by adding the narrative of Elsa saving Anna in Frozen and Moana saving herself in the movie Moana. They could further this by creating more stories with less heteronormative ideals. Having a princess fall in love with a female character or having a man respect a woman when she says no to his advances is also another way that they could do this. The second argument that I'm going to focus on is how teachers teach children about the sexual double standard. Students are taught about the sexual double standard when they experience sexual socialization. Sexual socialization is how people learn the norms that surround sexuality. Schools teach a hidden curriculum. This curriculum is not something that is found in the official curriculum. These are not written rules, but instead societal rules. The KISSING song is a prime example of the hidden curriculum. It puts a young boy and girl together and gives them ideas about a romantic relationship that they are expected to be in. By giving students ideas about being in a relationship, they are setting heteronormative standards for the children. Heteronormative means that the behavior in question is consistent with male or female gender roles. This means that they assume and teach heterosexuality. Heterosexuality stems from the idea that sex is only meant for procreation. By instilling these ideals into students through the hidden curriculum, teachers are teaching students that they should only be in a romantic relationship with a member of the opposite sex. There's also the sexual double standard when girls show their bodies to young boys. They get in trouble for it, but when boys show their bodies to young girls, the girls get in trouble for looking, while the boys do not. It is also present when a little girl says that she does not want a hug or a kiss from a little boy, but she is told to give him a chance. This is because girls are expected not to want sexual things. This idea also leads to rape culture because then young girls learn to let people kiss or touch them when they do not want to be touched, and little boys learn that it is okay to touch a girl even after she said no. A possible solution to this would be to have teachers not comment on students being in a relationship. They could also tell children to keep their bodies to themselves. By telling the students to keep their bodies to themselves, no one is getting touched non-consensually. If this were to happen, female students are also not being taught that male wants are more important than their own. Boys will not be taught to chase girls who do not want them. They could also stop teaching songs about heteronormativity. Or, if they would like to continue to teach these songs, they could add songs that are not within the heteronormative agenda. The third sub-argument I would like to address is how parents teach their children about the sexual double standard. Parents often teach their kids about the wounded truths of being homosexual. These wounded truths are a narrative that being homosexual is to be wounded. Examples of this woundedness are depression, suicidal thoughts or actions, or they can be targets of violence. This sets the standard that straightness doesn't have danger associated with it. When children are taught about these wounded truths, they are taught that they should adhere to a heteronormative agenda. Some ways that parents enforce this is by making their male children play with toys that are marketed for boys. Often, when a male child will ask why they cannot play with something marketed for female children, the parents will give reasons such as "you don't want to get made fun of," which is teaching these children that they will be made fun of for doing something outside of heteronormativity. This is connected to the sexual double standard because young girls are usually allowed to play with any toy because their parents do not fear that a G.I. Joe will make their daughter a lesbian, but rather it will give Barbie a brother. Children are also taught by their parents that they can only marry one person at a time. They are told that if they are in a relationship with somebody, they cannot be dating someone else or kiss someone else. This is often seen when parents get a divorce because one of them cheated. The person who was involved with someone else is kicked out or alienated from the family. This shows children that polyamory is bad and leads them down a heteronormative path. This relates to the sexual double standard because there's a double standard for cheating between men and women. Parents also give their girl children the idea that they are vulnerable and cannot protect themselves. If these girls are expected not to be able to defend themselves, they will not be trained to do so. This makes their future assault a self-fulfilling prophecy. Not teaching girls how to fight back can cause them to become targets of assault. These problems could be solved by letting children play with any toys they want, preparing children to be able to defend themselves, and showing children that when people communicate, everything works out for the better.